In Dreamweaver you can see the line there, so we know if I hover over this I can see it's 84 pixels, so that's brilliant. So with the header tab I can just put my cursor next to the word header, that's handy, and here we've got the header, so I can double click on that as we've done in previous videos, and we're going to mess around with the type a bit later on, but really I want to concentrate on the box. So I know height is 84 pixels, apply, and there we go, it's pushed it all nicely down. But if we have a look at this image, we can see that it's pushed in a bit. We've got this, well, I think the lining there is just automatic anyway, so we don't need to worry about the side alignment, but it's the text is sitting nice and pretty in the middle, so I'm going to give it a bit of padding on the top and the bottom. So to do that, go back into Dreamweaver, and this is where we get things. So padding, I don't want it on the right or the left, so I'm going to untick same for all. Top, I think I'll give it a padding of 10. Let's try 10. Bottom, 10. Now, with that, the padding is going to add to the height. If I click apply, we can see it pushes it. So I've got to add up how much padding I got altogether, so that's 20, and minus it from the height. So a bit of math, so that's 64. Apply, so that's looking a bit better. I'm going to go into type because obviously in the image it's nice thick white. I'm going to put it white and then we'll create a rule later on for the header. Well, actually we'll do it now, get it over and done with. So we've got type, I'm going to set it to white, just clicking around it. Don't know why we haven't got colours for some reason, don't know. But set to white, which is #FFF. I'm going to change the font weight to bold, because it's going to be very bold. You can set it to whatever you like, but I'm just going to leave it default that. And the font size, let's go 36. Apply. Yeah, that's sitting nice and pretty there. And I believe the title is Slick Red. So let's change that. Slick Red. However, the red isn't red. What we're going to do, we're going to create a separate rule for this so that it tells it to be red. Now, you could make this an image in Photoshop and then import it here as an image, but why do that? And you might as well just do it through code. It saves a lot of memory, etc. If you can tell it through code to do this, it's easier. Well, for those people loading it. So, very quickly, I'm going to create a new rule. So if you go to your CSS styles, I'm going to click on this symbol down here, which allows me to create a new rule. I'm going to click on this, and I see it gives you a few samples. I'm just going to do dot red. Oh, red, not F. So it's red. Just so I can make this text red. So I'm going to click OK. And it pops up this window asking me what kind of rules does it need, which is very handy because I already know the font size. It's going to be 36, font weight, bold. But this time the color, I'm going to just, you can actually pick what you could, put the eyedropper tool inside your web page. So I'm going to pick this red color here. So there we go. Don't need to do anything else at all. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to click OK. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to highlight just the red text. I'm going to go down into our properties panel, and we've got class here, and we've got a header, but I'm going to click on the drop down, and here we've got red already set up along with all the other stuff we've created. But there we go, red, and voila, slick red, all sorted there. So that's the header done. You don't need to worry about that. So now finally, the only thing we have to mess around with is creating a brand new division tag for the menu that goes underneath the header but is before the links and instructions. So that might be a bit tricky. We'll give it a go. So what I'm going to do, I clearly need to put it after the header tag. So I'm going to go into split view, and let's have a look. Let's scroll around. Let's see. Oh, here's our cursor, is in red there. And oh, okay, so there's /div, which is the end, and we go into div class sidebar. So this one here is clearly the end of the header. Let's see. I don't know why it's putting that note there. That's a silly place to put that. It should be here, but that's Dreamweaver doing things on its own, I guess. So put your cursor there after the div. I'm going to press enter, so it gives it a nice big space. Actually, press it a few times, like a big space, so it looks separate here. If you ever get into the mode of where you can code it using Dreamweaver, making nice big spaces really does help break it down, and you can see clearly the sections you're working on. So with that there, I'm going to create a brand new div tag. Let's see, but before we create the div tag, I've got to create a rule first so that we can link it all in. So I'm going to actually create 3 new rules. Why 3 new rules? Because if we have a look here, we could set it as like blocks, home, about, space and things like that, but I don't think that really works. I like to create it as an unordered list, but this time going across the page, not up and down. So we've got to create a rule, first of all, for the bar itself, then for the unordered list, and then for the list items themselves so they respond correctly like this. So we might as well do that setup from the start, and then we can mess around with it. So again, we're going to click on new rule, and it's going to be dot. I'm going to call mine menu. You could call it nav or whatever you like. Oh no, we already got a nav, so we can't call that, it's taken. So I'm going to call this one menu and click OK. And do we have to do anything yet? No, we're not. We're going to leave it blank for now. We're going to mess around, tweak it up a bit later. Also going to create the next one. Now this might be a bit tricky, but it helps that we've got this open here. We can see clearly here we've got UL and then class nav. So what we've got to do, we've got to put in UL then dot menu. Okay, so that's the new rule. Just say ID tag. Let's hope this will work. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, it's not letting me doing it that way. Let's try tag. No component. No, it's not letting me do it this way. I'll just do it manually. So I'm going to click on CS style here. I have to admit, I am extremely used to just doing it myself. So I'm going to scroll down here. Oh, we've already got. Oh yeah, here's ones I created earlier. So I'll just delete all those. So there's red. So now we've got menu here. So now I can put in URL dot menu, open curved bracket, close. Don't get confused with when you do a normal bracket. Can I zoom in a bit here? Oh no, I'll zoom in the video, but remember it's got to be the curved brackets, and then just press enter on your keyboard, and then in again URL dot menu. Remember, to this time we're going to have a space. It's going to be for the listed items, and then curved brackets. And also remember, it's finishing touch to save everything. So save all. There we go. All is saved. We can click refresh, and we should have all these rules. Let's have a look. There we go. And there's nav. Here we go. The menu ones. So we're going to have a mess around with those in a moment. These are nicely set up, and we will be using them. But first of all, we've got to create the division tag. So again, clicking the header, going back to source code. Let's find that. Oh, where are we? Here's a nice space here. I can make sure by clicking here. That's the header. Yep, definitely that. So now I can create the division tag, link it to menu, and it should do as it's supposed to. So we're going to go insert. Let's see. As I say, I'm very used to doing this just through code, so doing it through the Dreamweaver options takes me a little while. Okay, so not those. You'd think it'd be in insert. Ah, here we go. Sorry, it's insert layer objects, and we want div tag, division tag. And at insertion point, yes, that's where we put our cursor, so it's going to put it right there. And class is going to be menu. There you go. Go OK. There is an option if I just do this again. And I'll just do this one more time. You could have created a new rule there, so I didn't. I forgot about that, so I'll cancel that one. So there we go. We've got a brand new rule that's sitting right here. Now we do need to mess around with this. So I am going to go into current, and there's menu. So click that, and in here I'm going to mess around with the font a little bit. It is going to be again bold. For some reason they in the style here just really like the bold everywhere. And we're going to make it white, and we're going to leave the font size to generic, so apply. That makes it nice and white and bold. And we're going to sort out the box. So the height, let's try 60 pixels. Apply. It's going to apply. It's not too bad. Let's try 58. Okay, let's try 54. Yeah, that's nice. It fits just nicely in there. With that, I'm also going to create a padding again. I'm going to do exactly the same as we did before with sleek menu. I'm going to give it about 5 on top and 5 on bottom. Remember to minus, and together that's 10, so remember to minus it from the height. So again, just like we did before, top 5, right, not going to have anything, and bottom 5. And then we're going to change 54 to 44. Apply. You can see menu goes down a little bit. I'm going to do it a bit more. I'm going to do it by 10, and we're going to minus it by, 34. There you go, that's nice and pretty, and I pressed enter a bit too forcefully there. Another thing you'll also notice in the design, we've got a bit of space here. Now, unlike this one, there is no space at all, so we've got to do that by adding a margin. So box, and untick margin, because we only want to do it for the bottom, we don't want it anywhere else. I'm going to put in, how much of a padding? Maybe about 20? Apply. Oh yeah, that's plenty. That's spot on actually. I'm quite pleased with that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That's all nice and pretty. So yes, I don't think there's anything else to do with the menu one. So now what we've got to do is put in our list. So we're going to get rid of the text here. I'm going to delete that and put in the list. I'm going to go to design mode here, and we're going to go to insert. Just find out where to put it. Here we go. If you go to insert, HTML, text objects, unordered list, because the ordered list will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unordered list is usually bullet points. So click on that. Has it done it? I don't think it has. Oh, it's probably because am I still on live view? No, I'm not. Okay, let's have a look in split. Oh yes, it's done it. It's just I haven't put anything in there. So if I type in home, as you can see here, we've got div class menu, URL, home, and then URL again. So I'm actually going to highlight this. I'm going to, if you'll let me, copy it, press enter, and then paste or Control V. I'm going to just Control V it now. As you can notice, it goes to the side a bit. I don't like that, so I'm just going to. How many bits did he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 6 altogether. So it was, what was the list? It was home, about, products, about, products, Services design and contact. That's about straightforward. What's the last one? Design and contact. Okay. Design and contact. Okay, so as you can see here, it's done it like this. We're going to have to mess around a bit with the rules, but before we do that, at the moment, this URL, it doesn't have any rules. It's just a generic URL, same as the menu. Well, actually, this one is linked to a nav one. So we're going to have to change this around a bit. So we're going to have to give this a class. So if I click on URL here, you can see it's selected down here, and in the properties, just like we did with red there, we can actually set this to its list. So let's try and find it. It should be menu. So there we go, URL class menu. You will notice, move a little bit, so now I've set to menu, I can now alter it without affecting anything else. So we've got menu there, so I'm going to double click on that. So little things we have to do here. First of all, make sure this is a, well, it goes to list here. I'm going to need to set the type to, where is it? None. Because if we put a circle in, what's going to happen? Just click apply and just show you. Does it do it? Don't know why it's not doing it. It's weird. Let's go to live. Okay. I'll click OK for now. Go to live view. I've odd. I don't know why it's not doing it. You usually be dots, but is this for some reason not menu? Or is it the wrong thing? So I'm going to go into styles here and just check on everything. Oh, it's because I've got two menu. I deleted that. Oh, that's a text margin padding. Oh, it's put it in the wrong place. It's done a list bit there. My mistake. I'm just going to delete it from there. It's in the wrong place entirely. Ah, there we go. I clicked that one. I'm sorry. So this one. So if I did it again, list type circle. You don't have to copy this. It's just for demonstration purposes. Is it going to do it? Apparently not. Now I'm growing concerned. I'm going to try and files, save all. I don't think anywhere else it says it's a unordered list, but never mind. Okay, so that's a bit odd. So yeah, back to this. We actually need to set to none, just to make sure. But usually if you're doing this and something goes wrong with the code or it's interpreted wrong, it goes dotty. Probably if I did a live preview you would see the dots, but I'm not going to worry about it too much because technically we don't want the dots. So finally, we're going to mess around with the list. So this time you click on url.menu li. Yes, I clicked the wrong one by accident earlier. So we're going to go into box. Now here we need to set the float to left, so everything floats to the left in the list sections, which each of these are in. And we're going to set the width to auto, so automatically it's going to adjust itself. So there we go. So automatically it puts itself like that. Only issue is they're too close together. They're not, you know, you don't know which one begins, which one ends, because it looks like one big long sentence. So now we're going to add a bit of padding into this. So I'm going to put padding, untick that again, and I'm going to put in a little bit for the right, so about 5, and then for the left again 5. Because it's set to auto, it's just going to automatically sort itself out, so we don't need to do any calculations there. So if I click apply, no, it's got a bigger space than that, so we'll go about 8 and 8. Yeah, that's a lot better. And actually, there you have it. We've done the entire. Go to. Let's save everything. Save all. Oh, one final touch. We need to sort out these sections. So yeah, we're going to finish this off. We're going to paste in, oops, go back to slide. We're going to paste in the text that comes with this. Okay, so if we go back to the files, double click content. Here we get, well really this is all Latin, it's just placeholder stuff, but it'd be good practice just for you to be used to putting in text in yours. So I'm going to copy this, right click, copy, go back to Dreamweaver, highlight all the bits here, so that's all done. Delete, and then right click and paste. Now you will notice for one thing, if we go back to the picture, we need to set up which sections the headers. So I'm going to do that right now. So go back onto Dreamweaver. We're going to, well this one needs to be a header because it's nice and bold, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to highlight the text, go down to the properties, make sure you're on HTML, and at the moment it's set to paragraph. I want this, let's try header 3. Actually is that, no, we can make it bigger, so header 2. That's about right. I think you could mess around the head. It's actually 3. Let's try 2 again. Yeah, that's about right. Doesn't matter if it's 3 lines here. We could make the website a bit bigger, but it's okay. And get rid of the spacing. Here we've got template notes. So those are a little bit smaller. So that's header 3. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to press Control and Enter, or is it Shift and Enter? Okay, for some reason we can't sort the space in there. You could, if I highlight this, and we go over, it's over here in the rules, so you can see header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4, header 5, header 6, and paragraph. If I click on this, let's have a look. Box. Here we go. We've got, oh, it's panning left, panning right. It's not anything for margin, that's a bit weird. So I'm going to say 0, 0, apply. Does that do anything? No. You could also set it to a minus number, which is kind of interesting. But let's check type, background, box. No, doesn't have anything here. Kind of odd. Try in content. Nothing in type there. Let's actually try line height. Just try. I put line height and I put normal, so that's set to normal. That's quite interesting. I'll try it with this one as well. Line height normal. Apply. You'll notice it does affect here as well, but you can easily sort that out another time. I'm not going to mess around with this too much. We want to finish this off. So more information. Set that to header. Oh, not header 2. That's too big. Header 3. And template note. Header 2. I suppose if you did want to mess around with this a bit more, you could double click on this, go to box, and you could put the bottom, I suppose, to maybe -4. You can set it as a minus number, which is quite interesting, so let's see. Hasn't done anything. Okay, let's try let's go extreme, let's go -50. Nope, hasn't done anything, so that doesn't do much. Let's try margin, apply. Here we go, it's in the margin. So there we go, that's where you change the line height. As you see, it also affects here as well. So okay, check the design. Close enough, we just need a nice space here, so I'm going to put my cursor there, press enter twice. Or I could just set that to line 2 to make it bigger. That'll do, that's as close as you're going to get without me being a bit over the top. So finally, file, save all. Let's give this a preview in lovely Chrome. And there you have it. You could tweak the spacing a bit more, find out what the sort of lines there, put the links in, but there you have it, and put the links in here. Fortunately they're not changing colours, but you just have to add in the link bit and roll them over. It's not too bad. So there you go. You can also, I guess you could also make this a bit bigger. I'm actually going to do that now. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So back to here, I'm going to click on, which one is it now? Let's click on content. Let's click on box, and the width is 680, so let's try 690, apply. Actually made it a bit bigger, a bit wider. Let's go a bit more extreme, let's go 700. Just you keep pushing the limits. Okay, 700 looks a lot better. Let's go bold and 740. Okay, 740 is a bit too much. You see it's being pushed down there, so let's try 720. 720 is okay. If you really want to really expand the size of it, you would have to make the entire website. So if I click on container, you'd have to make the box bigger, so you could change this to 1000. Apply. Okay. Then click on content and make that bigger by, let's say, 750. Because what you've done here, you've made the website bigger so it's able to take in that space without shoving sections below. So with all that, again, file, save all. You can preview it, but I forgot to close it, so I can click on refresh here. And you see it's gone a bit bigger. Let's push things out a bit. So yeah, that's all nice. I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's pretty close to that. I mean, you have to add more links to it to get it exact, but as a template, there you have it, and there you go. That is how you can create a template from scratch. For more details about how to personalize it, how to mess around with links, how to get more used to things, definitely visit wfreeschools.com. It's, again, a fantastic website. If you're not sure, maybe if you want to learn more about lists, you can click on CSS and then go to lists. And here you can look at how to do all these things, try it yourself. It's definitely worthwhile, and you can change the order of things. So maybe this will be I want that one to be the B one, so just put that B and submit, and there you go, I've made them the same. So you can mess around with these, have fun, and you don't have to be afraid because, you know, you're messing around with it. If it's a complete wreck, so what? That's what it's there for, to be a complete wreck and for you to mess around until you're used to it. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and yeah. Okay, this is going to be the third and last video to this whole segment. All we have to do now is sort out the header and the menu. So hopefully, yeah, I'm going to sort out the header and the menu. I'm not going to really mess around with this too much because, you know, it's all sorted. Like we got SEO. Oh, I thought it was SEO. Read that wrong. So if I want to change it, just click in here and change that to S. And like this one, I think was PHP. So PHP. It is really simple. You just click, type, change it. Automatically done. And if I go into live view, you can see already changes there. The only thing you have to change is where it links to. If you do want to get it to link to somewhere, you just highlight it, and here we go, link. And if you created additional, if you've got like Google, you could. I would like to put in the HTTP : / all W's google.com. So press enter, and that is now a merry little link. That'll take you to Google. But if I don't want it to be Google, so let's delete that now, I could either select browse in the file, so I can select whatever web pages I made, or if you've got the files open on the side here, you can click this pointer and drag it and select a page like index there, so it's linked to the index page. I'm going to delete that for now and just leave this hash. For some reason hash is kind of like the save point saying I don't do anything, I'm not linked to anything, I just don't do anything. I tend to put that in there because the rest of them have it and it just seems to keep it tidy and not messy. Right, so one issue here is that we need to know the height of this. You could go back into Photoshop and do the rulers, measure it, But there, as you can see, I've got the rulers already set up in Dreamweaver. If you want to turn yours on, all you have to do is go to View, scroll down to the bottom, and there's Rulers, and you can click on Show. So if I turn them off, this is what you see. Turn them back on, and make sure they're set to pixels. You can set them to centimeters and inches, but who makes a website that's in centimeters? I don't know. So there we go. So now I am clicking the ruler, drag down, you see kind of snaps here and there, so I can snap it to there, and I could tell that the line to the header, because the header is just on the top here. Let's see if